The Koh-i-Noor diamond does not belong to a crown. It belongs to a trail of blood-broken empires and an ancient, inescapable curse. For centuries, a whisper has followed this flawless, 105-carat mountain of light through the halls of history. He who owns this diamond will own the world, but he will also know all its misfortunes. Only God or a woman can wear it with impunity. Long before it sat beneath the bulletproof glass of the Tower of London, sparking bitter geopolitical wars between India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the British royal family. It was an unnamed stone pulling men into madness. It was never bought, and it was never sold. It was stolen, bartered through torture, ripped from dying hands, and washed in the blood of kings who thought they could master it, only to find themselves blinded, poisoned, or overthrown. The true origin of the diamond begins not in a royal treasury, but deep within the dark, suffocating mud of the collier mines in Golconda, India. During the medieval era, workers pulling a massive, uncut crystal from the earth had no idea they had unearthed an object that would alter the fate of nations. The Kakatiya dynasty claimed it first, placing it in a temple as the eye of a sacred goddess. But the stone craved the world of men. When the ruthless armies of the Delhi Sultanate, led by Alauddin, swept through the Deccan Plateau in the early 14th century, they plundered the temples, and the diamond entered a cycle of violent conquest. It passed from one dying dynasty to another, a silent witness to the rise and fall of the Tughlaqs, the Sayyids, and the Lodis, accumulating a reputation as a talisman of ultimate power and ultimate doom. By 1526, the diamond found its way into the hands of Babur, the ferocious founder of the Mughal Empire. Babur was astonished by its sheer magnitude, writing in his memoirs that the stone was worth the value of 2.5 days' food for the entire world. Yet, the Mughals could not resist the urge to flaunt it. Generations later, Emperor Shah Jahan, the legendary builder of the Taj Mahal, decided that a mere treasure chest was unworthy of the gem. He commissioned the Peacock Throne, a dazzling seat of imperial majesty that took 7 years to build and cost twice as much as the Taj Mahal itself. The diamond was embedded directly into the head of a glittering peacock, staring down at courtiers, but the curse struck swiftly. Shortly after its completion, Shah Jahan was deposed by his own ruthless son and imprisoned in a fort where he could only glimpse his beloved creations through a distant window. Dying in captivity while his sons butchered each other for the throne, the Mughal Empire began to rot from within, and in 1739, a brilliant but merciless Persian conqueror named Nader Shah saw his chance. He invaded Delhi, massacring over 30,000 innocent citizens in a single day and systematically draining the Mughal treasury. But the famous diamond was missing. The defeated Emperor Muhammad Shah kept it hidden inside his turban at all times. Betrayed by a court dancer who knew the secret, Nader Shah cleverly engineered a grand celebration of peace, where he insisted on a traditional exchange of turbans as a sign of eternal brotherhood. Bound by honor, the Mughal emperor could not refuse. Back in his private tent, Nader Shah eagerly unrolled the silk cloth, and as the massive gem tumbled out, catching the torchlight, he gasped in awe, Koh-i-Noor, meaning the mountain of light. The diamond had received its name, but Nader Shah had also inherited its madness. Within years, he grew intensely paranoid, blinding his own son and executing his loyal generals, until he was brutally assassinated in his sleep by his own men. The diamond then bled into Afghanistan. Pastu Ahmad Shah Durrani, the founder of the Afghan Empire, The Afghan royal family quickly became consumed by the stone's dark legacy. For decades, brothers fought brothers for its possession. One king had hot oil poured onto his shaved head to force him to reveal the diamond's hiding place. Another was blinded with a hot needle. Yet he successfully hid the gem inside the plaster wall of his prison cell. Eventually, a fleeing Afghan king named Shah Shuja Durrani managed to escape to Punjab in 1813, carrying the diamond with him. There, he met his match in Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the legendary lion of Punjab and founder of the Sikh Empire. Ranjit Singh knew the stone's bloody history and demanded it as the price for asylum. He wore it proudly on an armband, flexing his immense power. But even the lion could not outrun time. Upon his deathbed in 1839, his priests begged him to donate the diamond to the sacred Jagannath temple to cleanse its karma, but his court officials refused. Within a decade of Ranjit Singh's death, the great Sikh empire collapsed into a chaotic nightmare of assassinations, poisonings, and palace coups. By 1849, the British East India Company had engineered the annexation of Punjab. The last ruler of the empire was Duleep Singh, a mere 10-year-old boy who was separated from his mother, forced to sign away his kingdom, and compelled to surrender the Kohinoor to the British crown as a gift to Queen Victoria. The diamond was packed into an iron dispatch box and placed on a ship named the HMS Medea. The curse did not sleep across the ocean. During the voyage, cholera broke out among the crew, and a terrifying storm battered the ship for days, nearly sinking the prize to the bottom of the sea. When the Mountain of Light finally arrived in London in 1851, it was put on display at the Great Exhibition in Hyde Park. Expecting a blinding, magical artifact, the British public was deeply disappointed. The ancient Indian cut was designed to maximize weight and reflect candlelight, making it look dull and lifeless under the grey English sky. Frustrated, Prince Albert ordered the diamond to be completely recut by a Dutch jeweler. Over 38 days of intense, high-pressure grinding, the stone was violently slashed down from 186 carats to its current weight of 105 carats, losing more than 40% of its original mass just to fit Western standards of brilliance. Aware of the ancient prophecy that the diamond brought ruin to any male ruler who possessed it, Queen Victoria left strict instructions. In her will, she decreed that the Koh-i-Noor must only ever be worn by a female reigning queen or the wife of a king. It was subsequently set into the crowns of Queen Alexandra, Queen Mary, and finally, the Queen Mother for the coronation of King George VI in 1937. Today, the diamond remains locked securely inside the jewel house, shielded by thick layers of reinforced glass and armed guards. Yet, its journey is far from over. The governments of India, Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan continue to launch fierce official demands for its repatriation, viewing it as a symbol of colonial theft. The British government firmly rejects these claims, keeping the stone firmly under lock and key. The Mountain of Light rests in London, a sparkling, captive monument to 1,000 years of greed, conquest, and a restless curse that has outlived every empire that dared to claim it. Asterisk, while the diamond sits in cold, silent isolation beneath London's concrete and glass, its dark legacy continues to warp the modern world, proving that a stone born of blood cannot be easily tamed by the laws of museums. The British royal family took the ancient prophecy deadly seriously. They isolated the gem, ensuring that no reigning British king would ever wear it on his brow. When King Charles III ascended the throne, the diamond was conspicuously absent from the ceremony. Queen Camilla chose not to wear the Queen Mother's crown, containing the Kohinoor for her coronation. Terrified of the intense global political backlash and the lingering whispers of the curse, the British monarchy knows that the diamond is a ticking diplomatic time bomb, a physical manifestation of a colonial past that the world refuses to forget. Battle for the Mountain of Light has shifted from the muddy battlefields of India and the treacherous mountain passes of Afghanistan to the highest courts of international diplomacy. The moment India gained independence from British rule in 1947, the new government made its first official demand for the immediate return of the stone, arguing that it was a symbol of India's stolen heritage. But India is not the only claimant. Shortly after, Pakistan launched its own fierce legal campaign, claiming the diamond belonged to Lahore, the historic capital of the Sikh Empire where the British had forced the young Maharaj Duleep Singh to sign it away. Soon, the Taliban-led government of Afghanistan entered the fray, asserting that the diamond was forcibly taken from their ancestors by the Sikhs, while Iran quietly maintains its historical right, citing Nader Shah's conquest. The stone that once tore families apart now tears international alliances at the seams, with 4 distinct nations claiming ownership of a single, fractured crystal. The psychological scars left by the diamond's theft remain unhealed, frozen in a tragic story of Duleep Singh, the boy king who was robbed of it. Years after he surrendered the stone, Duleep was brought to England as an exiled adult, thoroughly westernized and stripped of his culture. In a chilling private meeting at Buckingham Palace, Queen Victoria showed him the newly recut, downsized diamond. Eyewitnesses recorded that the deposed prince held the stone to the light, his face a mask of profound sorrow, realizing that his entire heritage, his empire, and his identity had been reduced to a shiny ornament for a foreign monarch's collection. He handed it back to her, in silence, a heartbreaking moment that symbolized the complete submission of a continent. The British government's official stance remains completely unyielding, hiding behind a legal fortress. Their argument is cold and absolute. The Treaty of Lahore, signed in 1849, legally transferred the stone to the East India Company, making it a legitimate acquisition of war. They fear that returning the Kohinoor would set a catastrophic legal precedent, opening the floodgates for museums across Europe to be completely emptied of their plundered treasures. If the British Museum and the Tower of London give back what was taken by force, they would have to return the Elgin marbles to Greece, the Benin bronzes to Nigeria, and thousands of other priceless artifacts that form the backbone of Western cultural tourism. And so, the Koh-i-Noor remains a captive king in a gilded cage. It has transitioned from a weapon of raw imperial conquest into a symbol of unresolved historical trauma. It is an object that cannot be sold, cannot be divided, and cannot be forgotten. It sits in the dark, refracting the light of the 21st century, waiting. History has shown that every empire that claimed this stone believed they would hold it forever. The Mughals, the Persians, the Afghans, and the Sikhs all fell to ruin while the diamond remained unchanged. The British Empire, upon which the sun once never set, has vanished, leaving behind only an island nation guarding a stolen crown. The stone's timeline is measured in millennia, while human empires are measured in centuries. The true story of the Kohinoor is not over. It is merely waiting for the next hand, foolish enough to believe it can truly own the Mountain of Light. The silence of the Kohinoor in the 21st century is an illusion behind the reinforced, shatterproof glass of the jewel house. The diamond remains an active catalyst for modern espionage, cultural warfare, and high-stakes legal battles. In recent years, a clandestine war has been brewing behind closed doors, fought not with swords or cannons, but with international heritage laws, state visits, and digital activism. Every time a British Prime Minister or a member of the royal family visits the Indian subcontinent, the diamond becomes an invisible elephant in the room. British diplomats go to extreme lengths to scrub any mention of the stone from official agendas, knowing that a single misplaced word could trigger an international incident or cause a massive public boycott of British goods. The stone has transformed from a symbol of pride into an embarrassing liability, a permanent stain on Britain's foreign relations that refuses to wash away. The legal arguments surrounding the diamond have grown increasingly sophisticated and aggressive. Intellectuals, historians, and legal experts from India and Pakistan have teamed up to challenge the validity of the 1849 Treaty of Lahore. They argue that a contract signed by a terrified 10-year-old child whose mother was imprisoned and whose kingdom was occupied by a foreign army cannot be considered a legally binding document under any modern definition of international law. It was an act of raw, unadulterated extortion. In response to this pressure, British authorities have tightened security around the physical artifact, fearing not just state-sponsored legal demands, but radical activists who have openly plotted to steal the stone and smuggle it back to its homeland. The Tower of London is no longer just a museum. It is a fortress keeping a royal hostage under 24-hour surveillance. The curse itself seems to have evolved, shifting from physical violence against kings to the slow, agonizing decline of the empire that stole it. Decades after the diamond arrived on British shores, the vast British Empire began to disintegrate, losing India, its African colonies, and its global dominance, eventually shrinking back into a fractured island nation, facing economic uncertainty and social division. Modern mystics and historians alike point out that while Queen Victoria thought she had bypassed the curse by giving it only 2 women, she merely delayed the inevitable. The stone has drained the monarchy of its mystique, turning what was once a sacred symbol of divine right into a controversial exhibit of colonial plunder that the modern world views with growing hostility and resentment. Meanwhile, the cultural reclamation movement has turned the Kohinoor into a global symbol for the entire global south. It is no longer just about a single diamond. It is about the millions of looted artifacts sitting in Western museums, from the Rosetta Stone to the treasures of Peru. The Mountain of Light has become the ultimate test case. If the British Crown ever succumbs to international pressure and returns the diamond to Lahore or Delhi, it will trigger the greatest mass migration of historical artifacts in human history, effectively bankrupting the cultural institutions of the Western world. This fear keeps the diamond locked away, as the British government knows that dropping this one stone would shatter the entire foundation of their historical narrative. The diamond remains frozen in a state of geopolitical deadlock, an immortal fragment of the earth that outlived the pharaohs, the emperors, and the colonial governors who tried to tame it. It has watched humanity bleed for its sparkle for over 700 years, turning men into monsters and kingdoms into ash. As the geopolitical balance of the world shifts from the west back toward the east, the pressure to return the stone grows more intense with each passing year. The Kohinoor is not a dead piece of history. It is a living, breathing conflict, waiting for the global order to shift just enough for the next chapter of its bloody journey to begin. The stone has outlasted every hand that ever held it, and it will still be shining long after the kingdom that holds it captive today has faded into the pages of history books. The final chapter of the Kohinoor is not written in ink, but in the shifting tides of global power. For centuries, this stone demanded a price paid in empire's blood and the souls of men who dared to possess it. Today, wrapped in the cold embrace of British steel and bulletproof glass, it remains the world's most dangerous diamond, not because of its size, but because of its unresolved fury. It stands as an unyielding testament to a harsh historical truth. No empire lasts forever, and no stolen glory can be hidden away completely. The mountain of light has watched the rise and fall of every dynasty that claimed it, quietly surviving the very kingdoms it brought to ruin. As the Western world grips it tightly out of fear, and the nations of the East demand it back with rising defiance, the stone simply waits. It does not belong to the British crown, nor does it belong to a museum shelf. It belongs to time itself. In the end, the Koh-i-Noor will outlive the Tower of London, outlive the monarchy, and outlive the modern world, remaining forever brilliant, forever cursed, and forever Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!